Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Dee and this is Market Stalkers. If you're already subscribed, hello, nice to see you again. You might want to jump straight into the core topic. That can be found at this timestamp. But if you're new here and you've randomly stumbled onto this video, hi, I'm a former rock and pop session musician turned professional futures trader. I abandoned my musician career of 20 years to chase another dream. Trading the markets. This was back in 2013, so I've been at this for a while now. I've been trading since 2008, but in 2013 I decided to take my skills to the next level. I'm mainly an order flow and price action trader, but I also developed some of my own proprietary trading methodologies that help me achieve some very consistent results. But I don't want to bore you with my life story, okay? Like, suffice to say is that order flow trading at the professional level didn't just fall into my lap, right? So I had to do the time in the trenches to really learn the ropes and get that routine going. Because personally, I found that with trading, it's not really just enough to identify a level and then click and you're in a trade. That won't work if you don't really understand how the intraday narrative relates to the levels that you're using. Looking for those equilibriums and price imbalances that bring you the high probability setups. That's what it's all about. Now, I wish I could tell you that it's as easy as kind of watching a couple of videos and off you go, but all of this takes years of practice and a lot of dedication, especially if you're doing it without any expert guidance. And that's exactly why I created my order flow training program, as well as the short courses that are pretty cheap on Udemy and Skillshare. For those of you who are struggling with trading and you've either never heard of order flow or only briefly touched upon it. So if you're interested in learning more about this, then check out the links below this video for further information. The training that I've created is geared exactly to someone like yourself who is going through, let's say, a prop trading challenge and you're looking for ways to get better, because at one point I was you, okay? My courses are a shortcut to obtaining the knowledge of what represents a high probability trade location and techniques on how to actually take advantage of those levels. This sort of knowledge usually takes people anywhere from like 5 to 15 years of forward testing and gathering data all by yourself. But once you understand how exactly we are able to have reliable profitability over long periods of time, it's totally worth it. Now, this kind of knowledge never comes cheap. When I took my apprenticeship in 2013, I had to pay like $25,000 for the privilege to learn and to be physically present at the premises with some remote possibility of getting a funded account at the end of it. But these days we have these online course platforms, but also online prop trading firms. So all of this enables those of us with knowledge to share to keep the costs down. So instead of $25,000, my courses actually start from like 1.5K, even under $1,000 if you take advantage of some of the sales that we occasionally have. Like at the moment, we have this awesome Easter sale for 40% off. And you know, that's a pretty fair price for knowledge that can change your life, right? Anyway, on to the subject at hand. 4 signs that you're rushing through your prop trading challenge. Let's cue that intro. Let's get to it. Number 1, trading too large. Now this is a big one.
See what I did there?
But seriously, one mistake that I see over and over is people signing up for like 25 to 50K challenges and then trading full contracts. So let's get something straight. Unless you're going for Apex or Lilu's like 250 or 300K challenge, full contracts are a no. Why? For 2 reasons. 1, on such small amounts, prop firms typically give you a tiny drawdown, tiny amount of capital to start with. Full contracts will eat up that small amount of capital before you can say reset. Second reason, the whole point of these challenges is for the prop firm to see that you can trade with discipline and control. But if you're trading a tiny drawdown with full contracts, it just shows them that you're not in control of anything. In fact, they're probably wondering if you even understand remedial math. That's a big red flag for prop firms. So what is the solution? You need to stick to micro futures only. Micro ES, micro NQ, micro Dow, and if the firm allows it, micro gold, micro crude oil. Slowing down and trading micros will make a world of difference in your ability to hold on to the prop challenge without having to do reset after reset after reset. Now, certain people might be able to pass 100 or 150K on full contracts, but for a lot of you, you just don't have that kind of discipline yet. It won't be possible. Now, I realize that this is not your idea of glamorous 3 contracts right off the bat and then making a grand in one day on like a 30-tick move. But it's safer. Hard and fast is not how you get ahead in this game, especially if you're doing Lilu or Apex on any other challenge that has a continuous trailing drawdown instead of a daily loss limit. Now, a few of you asked me about Apex, so while I'm on that subject, Apex are running this amazing Easter deal. There's actually 2 deals. So the first one is 80% off on all challenges for the first month. So for those of you who are a little bit further along in the Market Stalkers journey, and you're fairly confident that you can reach a target in 1 month, this is the deal for you, okay? But full disclosure, Apex are only running that 80% off for 1 month, for the first month. So if you're not sure that you can reach the target, they're running another deal, and this one runs until the end of April. This deal offers 50% off on any ongoing subscription. It's a pretty smashing deal for the right people. Sign number 2 that you're rushing through your challenge is doing way too many trades per day. I remember when I first started trading intraday, like anyone else, I imagined that it's all about doing like 20, 30, 50, 100 trades per day. That's the widespread retail thinking that the more trades you do,
the more money you make.
But it's literally quite the opposite. It's always quality over quantity. The most active traders are the ones who lose money. Even I don't really trade more than maximum 4 or 5 trades in a day. Maximum. On a most day, it's actually going to be 1 or 2. If you're doing trades from the position of ignorance, where you don't really know what the odds are for that particular level, that's not trading. That's still just gambling. But once you understand the structure that the markets have on like probably 70% of all the trading days in a year, you'll be able to pinpoint orientation levels based on distribution curves and or statistical averages. And sure, you might find like 2 or 3 other setups that are in between those major intraday orientation levels, but for the most part, you really need to start using distribution curves and statistical averages of some sort. And time of day, very important. Because just like a price action pattern means absolutely nothing on its own, since you're not really trading price action, you're trading a level. So price action is nothing more but a means to an end to actually push you into a trade. So likewise, a level getting reached at the wrong time of day can carry a whole different narrative that sets an entirely different tone for the rest of the day. Quick example, let's say a Tokyo session, Asian session. If the entire 24 hours range is smashed within like the first 2 hours of Tokyo, that's not normal. And in that case, you cannot expect a normal day. But if a 24-hour range gets exceeded in the first 2 hours of the New York session, now that is the norm. So if you don't yet understand all of these differences, you just need to get better. You need to want to get better. Learn more. Don't go blaming prop challenges for how tough or unfair they are. They're very fair if you know what you're doing. So don't complain. Don't be a victim, don't make excuses. Trade small, trade less, and get better. Sign number 3. Anyone trying to reach the target in the minimum amount of days if specified in the challenge. I get frequent comments here on my YouTube channel about how it's unfair that they want you to do X amount of profit in 15 days. But that's not what they want. That's the minimum amount of trading days. It does not actually mean reaching a target in that time period, okay? Because most of the challenges are actually monthly subscriptions. It's ongoing. So if you don't reach the target this month, it carries over to next month and next. And I do know why some people are doing this particular thing is because they have this false economy. They're trying to reach the target in the minimum amount of trading days because they don't want to pay another like 150, 200, 300 bucks a month. But at the same time, those same people will happily blow 10, 15, 20, 30K of their own money. So they're trading live before they're ready. And now, it's a whole problem paying another 200 or 300 bucks. It's like, it makes zero sense, okay? Number 4, the final one. But before we get into that, if you're finding this video useful, there are some ways that you can help support the channel completely for free, okay? One of those is to click on the like button and to subscribe, because that makes it much easier for the YouTube algorithm to notice us and therefore to recommend this video to other traders who also might be struggling and have the same issues as you do. The second way is to watch the bloody ads. Now, I grew up in the 80s and the ads used to be like so inventive, they were almost as entertaining as the show itself. So if you continue to watch some of my other videos, try to run the ads in their entirety, make a cup of tea, do a bit of yoga, stretch those shoulders out. You know, many of you are working from home, so you're bound to be sat in front of the computer for many hours in the day. And that will get me a little bit more of a budget for these videos. Not to mention, it takes me forever to create these. From like conception to actual editing and keyword research. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this that people may not realize. One of the reasons why I get quite a lot of views compared to the size of my channel is because I do like a reverse keyword research. Any sorts of problems that people might be having with either order flow or prop trading in general, and then I come up with actual things to talk about that I believe will bring value to you guys. Anyway, the final big sign that you're rushing through your prop trading challenge is when your biggest profit day represents most of your profit. Now, this goes back to why some companies introduce the consistency rule, because they're not looking for a one-hit wonder. The consistency rule is there because they had these like traders who reached the target by basically getting lucky on one day. And then the rest of the days were either losing days or very, very small profits. These sort of traders, the one-trick ponies, they don't last long in the industry. They usually lose the funded account as quick as they got it. So if this is you, you had one good day, but you have no idea how to repeat this, I would advise you to go back and analyze that day and see why you were successful. Look at the previous day distribution curve. See whether it was an abnormal single direction day when the market just sort of shot up or down, never looking back. Because those kinds of days, contrary to popular expectation and belief, they're actually not the norm. Price has a much higher probability of having this ebb and flow to its movement intraday. There are certain events that happen every single day at certain times of the day that push lots of volume in, thereby causing the prices to reverse. There are way too many of those for me to go into it in a short YouTube video, but I do explain them in depth in my pro development program. So check out the order flow training program links below this video. So that's it. That's the biggest 4 signs that you're not approaching the trading challenge seriously, but just kind of rushing to reach the target in the shortest time possible. And it ends up being false economy. The more you rush, the more challenges you blow, the more resets you do. So slow down. Enjoy the process, enjoy the challenge. It's an opportunity to learn and to grow as a trader. Stop being super worried about another month of like $200 or $300 subscription when I know that many of you already blew at least 50 times that. So get your head screwed on the right way and let's get funded. That's all I have for you right now. Check out some of my other videos that can help you in your journey to become a better trader. Goodbye.